Alright, good morning everyone. This is Miss Turner. Today is Thursday, August 20th. So what we're going to be talking about today, we're moving on to a new skill set. So we're going to be talking about representing benchmark fractions and percents using various models. So the models we're going to be using are 10 by 10 grids, strip diagrams, number lines, and of course numbers. So first I'm going to read you our daily KUBs so students will know how to represent benchmark fractions and percents on various models. Students will understand how to represent benchmark fractions and percents, and students will be able to represent benchmark fractions and percents using various models. So whenever you log in to Get More Math, the questions are going to be based on number lines and strip diagrams for today. So I'm going to go over a few examples with you. Also, just some small announcements before I go over the examples. I have office hours. So office hours is a time for you to come in and ask questions after you watch this video and you still have questions. Come to my office hours. Maybe you just want to say hi, or like you need someone to talk to, tell me about your week or something. That's also when you can come into office hours. Anything you need, come to office hours. So my AM session is from 9:30 to 10:30, and my PM session is from 3 to 4. I will also be calling small groups, so it's only going to be 6 of you guys at a time. It'll be about 20-30 minutes at a time, and I'll be pulling you guys in. I'll be using data from Get More Math and from your assignments you turn in on Schoology. If you have any questions, you can just send me a message on Schoology. If you want to be part of small groups, send me a message on Schoology, or you can email me. Alright, so let's get back to these Get More Math examples. So my first example is, well, first of all, benchmark fractions are fractions that are very common. So maybe you're using a benchmark fraction to compare like a judgment, like, oh, well, I only ate half the candy bar. That's a benchmark fraction. Or I just need another quarter. That's a benchmark fraction. Benchmark fractions are something that are very, very common. You should know these by now. Like, you should know how to change these fractions into decimals. And we've already talked about turning decimals into percents. So let's keep going. The first one says the fraction is represented on the number line below. So what I'm going to look at is just look at the number line. So I see zeros here and 1. And I have tick marks, and they all have like an equal amount of space in between the tick marks. So what I'm going to do is count the number of spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 spaces. So that means that each tick mark is worth 1/8. But since we're going up, we can just count. So that's 1/8. This is 2/8. That's 3/8 because each space is equal to 1/8. So 1/8 plus 1/8 is 2/8. 2/8 plus 1/8 is 3/8. Okay. 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, and 8/8. Okay, or 1. And the way you represented a 0 as a fraction, you should just put 0 over 8, or just write 0. And 1 whole is 8 over 8, or you can just write 1. Okay, so it's asking me which fraction is represented on the number line below. Well, my dot is on the 2/8, so I have 2/8 left, but when I look at my options, I don't see 2/8. Always remember, with fractions, you have to reduce or simplify down to the lowest terms. These are both even numbers, so I know that they can be divided by 2. Not equal, but divided by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So 2/8 equals to 1/4 is C. Okay. Number 2, I'm going to do the same steps. I'm looking at my number line, 0's here, and then there's 2. Well, wait, where's 1? It's somewhere in here. But I'm going to do the same steps as I did before, because I'm representing benchmark fractions on a number line. These are going to be common fractions that you'll see. So I'm going to count my spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, there's 6 spaces and I'm missing 1. So I'm going to divide that in half. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I know that 1 is going to be right here. So these are going to be represented by thirds. That's 1/3, that's 2/3, that's 3/3. Okay, well I have 1 whole and another space of 1/3. So that's going to be 4/3. This is 5/3. And then this is 6/3, because 6 divided by 2 is 3, and that's how I know that this fraction is correct. Okay, 1/3, that is a benchmark fraction. The point, the dot on the line, corresponds to A. Eighths are also benchmark fractions, so these are fractions that you need to get familiar with, or you will be getting familiar with. Okay, number 3 is the same thing as the second, well, not the same thing, but it's the same steps, because my number lines, well, first of all, which number line shows the fraction 3/2? By looking at this fraction, I should know that is improper, because my numerator is greater than my denominator. So I know that this can be written as a mixed number, which is 1/2. So I need to find a number line that's going to go higher than 1. So looking at my answer choices, I can already cross out A and D. Now I'm left with B. I'm not going to lie, B kind of looks a little bit complicated, so I'm going to skip over that one. Now let's look at C though. I'm going to count my spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 spaces, and again, I know it's going to be split in half. So 1 is going to be here. So this would be half, because that's the only number that I could fit, have equal spaces. It's half. And then this is 3/2. This represents, 2/2, because it's just 1 whole. This represents 3/2, and then this represents 4/2, because 4 divided by 2 is 2. So which number line shows the fraction 3/2? C. And if I look at B, this is way too close to 2. Alright, number 4. So now we've looked at the number lines, now we're going to move on to strip diagrams. Strip diagrams are almost like fractions. If you've ever seen a double number line, maybe this will look familiar to you. So what fraction of the whole is shaded? 1 whole would be the whole thing, but what is shaded is 4 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. But it wants to know the fraction. Well, 4/12 is a fraction, but remember we need to reduce or simplify to the lowest terms. So these are even numbers. They both can be divided by 2, but I also know that both of these numbers can be divided by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. So the fraction of this strip diagram shaded is 1/3. Okay? I'm going to do one more example of these. So again, what fraction of the whole is shaded? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 are shaded or not. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or what's the total? There's 10. 5/10. You should know that reduces down to 1/2. This is also a benchmark fraction. All of these fractions you'll be working with will be considered benchmark fractions. Okay? Now what we're going to talk about here, I'm going to skip on to number 7, is plotting. We're going to be plotting percentages on a number line. So, what I like to do, for me personally, whenever I work with these number lines, I like to write my percent at the bottom, and I like to write my fractions on top. Okay, so again, I'm going to count the spaces in between 0 and 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 spaces, so I know that these are worth 1/8 each. This is 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, and 7/8, and 8/8. Okay, so it's asking me to plot 62.5%. 62.5%. Well, okay, so I know that that's going to be more than half. So I know that it's going to be more than 4/8 because 4/8 is just 50%. But I'm not sure. I don't know these percentages. What I could do is I could divide 5 divided by 8 to figure out the decimal and change that decimal to percent. Or I could use what I know based upon the number line here. I know that 4/8 represents 50%. Well, what's half of 50%? Half of 50% is 25%. Well, so what I would do is go to what is half of 4/8, 2/8. So I would put 25% here. You might be asking, why are we getting smaller when we need to be getting larger? Well, I can add these pieces together, these parts together. If 4/8 is 50%, I wonder what 1/8 is worth, because what's half of 25? Well, it has to be a little bit more than 12, because 12 plus 12 is 24, so 12.5%. So I know that 1/8, which is worth 12.5%, plus 50% equals 62.5%. So 4/8 plus 1/8 is 5/8. So I'm going to put my dot right here on the tick mark in 5/8. If that was confusing or not faster for you, you could just go through your number line and divide out all your fractions until you find 62.5. It's up to you on how you want to do it. So I'll show you how that would look. I would take the next fraction, 5/8, and I would say 5 divided by 8. 8 can't go into 5, it's too small, so I'm going to add a decimal and a 0 and put my decimal in my quotient as well. 8 can go into 50 about 6 times, minus 48. Do the math, I get 2 left. Bring down another 0, I'm at 20. 8 times 2 is 16. Subtract, bring down one more 0. 8 times 5 is 40. Okay. So then I'll take my decimal and change it to a percent. Remember, you just take your decimal and you take the decimal point and you move it 1, 2 times to the right. Yes, you can have a but you always need to convert it no matter what. You still need to move the decimal. 62.5%. So there's 2 ways. Use your number line and your double number line to compare your percents and your fractions, or you can just divide and then change your decimal into a percent. It's up to you. Alright, number 8. Which of the following dots represents the number line below? Or represents 67 on the number line below, 67%. So I have 0 and 1. So again, I'm going to count my spaces in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's easy. These are tenths. So that's 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, and 9/10, and this is 10/10. Now it says 67, so I know it's going to be more than 50, but it's also going to be less than 80. Actually, it's going to be less than 70. So I can already knock off E, W, and K. So my only answer choice left is A. Okay, my video is about to end. If you have any questions, please message me on Schoology. Watch these videos at least twice, so maybe